If you're counting down the days into the next big RPG adventure that you'll get into, you're in for a treat. 2025 is shaping up to be another great year for RPGs. I've got the ultimate preview list of 10 must play titles that you cannot afford to miss. From beautiful worlds to epic stories you'll get lost in, these games are set to just help mold the genre and further push it past what it is. Like I always say in most of my videos, we do not need super big AAA games to waste all this money on in its budget, but there always one lingering thing that leaves into the the psyche here. Will they live up to the hype or pretty much leave fans disappointed? What's up, Chaotic fam? It's your host, KICTV, and if you're new here, then this is the chill spot for all things RPGs news, reviews, and guides. Let's jump into a little list of RPGs that are set to release in 2025, and I feel like you shouldn't miss it out. Starting off with is the Tales of series is absolutely massive in itself. Bandai Namco has decided to bless us with a remaster from their catalog, the Tales of Grace F. But for those of you who are not aware of this classic JRPG, then Tales of Grace F is an action RPG that is set in a quite very vibrant, colorful world of Ephnia. Our main protagonist is Asbel Lant, a young nobleman whose childhood encounters shape his destiny as he strives to protect his loved ones and uncover the mysteries surrounding a hidden ancient power. Now, what makes this game pretty great even for when it originally dropped on the Wii that eventually ported to PS3 is that the game features a fast-paced battle system that allows players to really switch between different fighting styles and a deep story also to go with it, and quite an engaging cast and with a little bit of emotional moments, right? I did play this a little while back, or when back when the game first released on PS3. I did not have it on the Wii counterpart, so I did play the port over, and it's actually pretty good to see that they're actually doing a remaster because it is a game that I would love to just hop back into. The remastered version includes updated visuals, improved performance. There's brand new features just for this remaster, like auto saving. You could turn on and off encounters. There are dialogues after battle screens. There's so much to go for this overall remaster. Then also, don't even start it, you get all 80 original DLC that's going to come with this game. Overall, Tales of Grace's F Remastered is a great choice for fans of the Tales series and any fans who are a fan of action RPGs. It offers a captivating story, exciting combat, and beautiful visuals that really takes you back, honestly, to the classic Nintendo JRPGs in the 2000s. I feel like back in the 2000s, in that little era, so to speak, that a lot of JRPGs had a very signature way that they looked, and Tales of really put you back into that time period, making it quite a must play for those looking for a new RPG to conquer on the the massive list of the games in the Tales series. So Sega is absolutely killing it when it comes to game releases, and this one franchise has seen so many new games in just the past 5 years alone. To add to that, we have Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. Wow, that is a complete mouthful for a name. At this point, this game, if they keep going with these long titles, the game's going to start turning into isekais, really. But this time around, we see a spin-off adventure with our favorite crazy mad dog, Goro Majima, as he gets lost to Hawaii with amnesia and somehow found his way to become a pirate. The game does step away from the turn-based action that is quite seen during Ichiban's adventures in the Like a Dragon series. We go back to the beat-em-up style of play loved in the older games, and to spice things up to really play into the pirate life, we can also assemble a pirate crew and even upgrade your own ship, which they call the Goro Maru, but which they can use to explore the open sea, engage in combat with other pirate ships, but ship combat takes place in real time, and players can also board enemy ships to battle their crew, defeat their captain, and really just live that pirate life. Now, Pirate Yakuza is looking to be a great spin-off sequel to Infinite Wealth, in which I do highly recommend some people play Infinite Wealth first to really get that grasp, to really reel it in story-wise, since this does take place 6 months after the game. And knowing Sega, man, we should know them quite well, they could make a crap ton of callbacks to Infinite Wealth, even though the story follows Majima this time around. The installment makes me pretty excited because I am a huge fan of these games and the lore gets me every time, and I'll do anything to really get my hands on this game. Next, we have Monster Hunter Wilds, which is going to be overall taking over my life some weeks and possibly some streams as well, due to the fact that this is going to be the biggest Monster Hunter since Worlds, and honestly just might be more anticipated than Worlds. This game takes the beloved Monster Hunter series into a new realm with the expansive open world environments, and from my time in the demo test, we can expect stunning visuals, lush forests, like dynamic weather systems that bring the world to life. And don't even get me started on the gameplay, which in my opinion is starting to be one of my favorite combat and gameplay systems in a franchise. But it's all about strategic hunting, where you could team up with friends, take down massive beasts, or you could just overall just use environments to help take down these beasts. Monster Hunter Wilds gives us 14 different weapons to beat the absolute brakes off of these beasts. Therefore, with new weapons, the new armor sets, customization also has expanded and it looks pretty great from what I've seen. Hopefully there's a little bit more in when we get to the actual full set of the game. But speaking about the game, the gameplay revolves around hunting these big beasts, with the weather and environment always being very dynamic, and it's always changing as time goes on. We can easily track down our prey, we can analyze their behaviors, and this game really always makes you feel like you are a monster hunter. They do it very well. This is why the series has stayed around for eons now. You can exploit the monster's weaknesses just to get better, but there is a couple of things like that they added, which is like the focus mode, which allows you to hone in on some of the monster's wounds and deal even extra damage, and adding more of a depth to the combat and overall accessibility to things in this game. You would also notice like wounds inflict temporary weaknesses on the monsters, and it kind of allows you to capitalize on those specific vulnerabilities. But focus mode provides a quite tactical advantage, enabling players to just concentrate their attacks on specific body parts for just maximum amounts of damage. And that is what's really going to just kind of like soar home. I can't wait to see any more story wise, because it's going to be great. This is definitely the new Monster Hunter for this new generation. Expedition 33 shocked the world with the most beautiful visuals and blend of turn-based RPG mechanics. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is a turn-based RPG with real-time mechanics. It takes place in a world inspired by this time around France, which I did a little bit of research. Actually, it's called the Belle Epoque, and I probably said that a little bit wrong, but it's we're an enigmatic, malevolent entity known as the Paintress. She awakens each year, paints a cursed number upon a monolith, right? So each stroke of the brush erases those of that age from existence, turning them literally just outright killing them, right? This year, she will paint 33 with it, right? Expedition 33 faces their doom unless they overall succeed into this mission to destroy the Paintress and end this cycle. Now, you just heard the entire synopsis of the story for Expedition 33, and that there right alone, that just synopsis is what makes this game about to be one of the most fire RPGs we're going to receive next year. That story is so compelling just by reading that off to you. I'm hyped just by even reading this on my screen. Overall, it's going to be a great game, and this game features quite a unique combat system that combines turn-based strategy with real-time action. Now, yes, is this the first time this has ever happened in a video game? No. Expedition takes a lot of elements from a lot of games who have done similar things. One of my favorite games from those elements was Legend of Dragoon on the PS1, and I just loved the way they did it. And you can tell that there's a lot of JRPGs that are influencing Expedition 33. We get a party of characters that we can help like explore this world, facing different encounters. The combat system, can be strategic, position with their characters. You can actually defend and attack at the same time. You can also parry. There's so many options that opens up the real time and the turn-based side of things for this game. And honestly, I feel like this would be a nice, unique game to get newer players into these games who have not played turn-based RPGs, or they just kind of just don't feel too good about them. They don't like them. They don't like the act of waiting. And I feel like Expedition 33 will help ease players into that genre. On top of the gameplay being as fired as it is, the story also helps backs up Expedition 33 and really propel it. And honestly, as of right now, there's a lot of games that are coming out next year, but Expedition 33 just could possibly be, I will have to say, already maybe a contender with the game of the year. We'll see. There's a lot of other games, a lot of the fire that is coming out next year, but it has potential, and I want to see this game soar. I want to see it just go off and hit crazy numbers. I want them to be like, oh, this is our million sold copy, everything of that nature, from the cast, the characters, and the storytelling, the world development, and just the overall synopsis, like the danger that is lurking around every corner because of just the painters ready to just, it's a mystery that I really want to see how it ends. And that is how Expedition 33 is. Definitely, you cannot miss out on this game when it finally releases. And another last thing I love about this game is that the narrative delves into themes of like mortality, loss, and just overall the resilience of the human spirit when it comes to overwhelming odds that we need to come up against. And speaking about an overwhelming force of nature, we have the first Berserker Khazan, which is a single player action RPG that was developed by Nepo and published by Nexon. It is set in the same universe as Dungeon Fighter Online, which is quite a popular multiplayer beat-em-up game, but it follows the story of Khazan, an ancestor of all slayers and the one who defeated Hismar, the Berserk Dragon. Now, what makes this game quite interesting, other than the fact when the trailer released, it was definitely an ARPG that was already right on my alley just by looking at it. And there was a lot of, this game has been in talks for quite some time, so I've been kind of keeping track with it every so often. And if I'm not mistaken, the developmental time of this game also had a shaky bit of it, but I feel like we're on that crash course, like, yes, we are finally doing it. And Khazan features a dark and gritty atmosphere, a fast-paced combat, distinctive anime style as well that is really appealing to the eyes. Khazan is a hardcore action RPG that promises to deliver a challenging yet rewarding experience and a deep combat system with a variety of skills and combos that we can be able to master. Now, the enemies are tough and can punish any mistakes you made, so you really need to start having like a strategic approach when you do certain things in combat. But with the mature and dark story that explores the themes of revenge, betrayal, and redemption that we noticed from the trailer, the first Berserker Khazan is a highly anticipated game that is sure to appeal to fans of ARPGs and as well as fans from the Dungeon Fighter Online universe. The game is set to release in 2025 on PC and consoles as well. But I just want to step in and just say, like, if you're enjoying the video, then definitely hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Come join the chaotic community. But we got to finish off this list for the rest of the year, so I'll catch you guys later. Next, we have the Suikoden series. Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster is a compilation of 2 classic RPG games. These games were originally released on the PlayStation and have been remastered in high definition for modern day consoles and PC. But what makes this game great is the story, which is a group of heroes who are trying to overthrow an evil empire. Then, as well as both of these games feature a large cast of characters, a deep story, and a variety of gameplay mechanics. Suikoden are known for their large cast, but in Suikoden 1, you can get over 100 characters to be able to recruit to your party, and I believe in Suikoden 2, kind of pushes those characters up just about like over 110 or so. I don't know the official number. that allows you to recruit. Therefore, in both games in the Suikoden series, every character you'll come across are very unique, have their own stories, and as well as personalities. But we can learn more about the characters by talking to them and completing their quests for them. And I feel like that is what makes these games shine, just allow me to recruit these many different personalities and having them help me out on my journey really sets it up to it really sets up the world building. And of course, we know their spiritual successor, Eiyuden Chronicles, that does something very similar. The Suikoden games are also feature a variety of gameplay mechanics. We can explore a large world, fight enemies in turn-based combat, complete quests, but just like most classic JRPGs, we also get a variety of mini games such as fishing, cooking, things like that to do between our time. Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster is a great way for fans of the original games to experience them in high definition, but the games are also a great way for players to experience these classic OG RPGs. AI Limit is an action RPG set in a post-apocalyptic world where players take on the role of Arisa, a blader created by mysterious technology, and Arisa embarks on a journey to repair those said branches, which are basically remnants of an artificial ecosystem that collapsed, leading to the apocalypse. But AI Limit is a Souls-like, an anime Souls-like, similar to Scarlet Nexus and Code Vein. The game world of AI Limit is a desolate but dangerous place filled with many different creatures and many different challenging environments. I definitely love the demo. The demo gave me a good chance to actually see what this world has to offer. You can practically just navigate through like ruined cities, these beautifully dangerous landscapes, and encounter various factions, each with their very own agendas. The story unfolds through exploration, dialogue, and environmental storytelling, gradually revealing the mystery surrounding Arisa's origins and the fate of the world. AI Limit's gameplay focuses on fast-paced action combat with a focus on precise timing and strategic movement, but players can also utilize a variety of different weapons and abilities to defeat these enemies, while also managing their soul reserves to avoid permanent losses, basically hinting that this is a Dark Souls based game, so there is some form of a risk and reward. The game also features a exploration element requiring players to solve puzzles, check out hidden areas, collect resources to be able to upgrade their equipment and abilities, making AI Limit just being a nice little successor to Code Vein and Scarlet Nexus. Aetelier Yumia, The Alchemist of Memories and the Envisioned Land is an upcoming RPG developed by Gust and published by Koei Tecmo. Set in a world where alchemy has been outlawed, Aetelier Yumia follows the story of Yumia Liesfeld, a young woman who discovers that she possesses the ability to manipulate memories. As Yumia delves deeper into the mysteries of her power, she uncovers a hidden history of alchemy and the true intentions behind its suppression. Now, Yumia's journey takes her across, a ruined continent where she encounters a cast of colorful characters who join her on this mission. And together, there's a lot of things that you'll notice, especially out of the trailer, that we got like different terrains, there's puzzle solving, and of course there are enemies. Now, one thing that really caught my eye when I was watching this trailer was that the game's combat system features real-time action with strategic elements, allowing players to really utilize Yumia's unique abilities to manipulate the battlefield and turn the tide of battle for her side. And this game does a great job. Aetelier is another one of those series that offer a lot. They have a catalog just as big as the Tales of series. So overall, Yumia is adding to that collection, and we actually get to see just how well they can really push the boundaries of each of their JRPGs, being such an interesting way around it, focusing on the whole entire fact of alchemy. Now, Aetelier Yumia promises quite a captivating story. They have engaging gameplay, which we can clearly see during the trailer, and a beautiful world to explore. With this focus on memory and alchemy and the consequences of the past, Aetelier Yumia offers a unique and quite a thought-provoking experience for fans of the Aetelier series, and as well as anybody who's a JRPG enthusiast. Now, Fable being released for next year is a thing that I did not expect to have on my bingo card. So Fable is getting a complete reboot, which is a beloved fantasy ARPG that came out. It was like during the Xbox and PC times, but the new Fable game is being developed by Playground Games and published by Xbox Game Studios. It is set in the fictional world of Albion, where players would take on the role of a hero and embark on a journey to save the world from evil. The game is still in development, but it is expected to be released in 2025. The new Fable game is being built on the Unreal Engine 5, which will allow the developers to create a more immersive and realistic world. Fable will feature a new combat system that is a little bit more dynamic and fluid compared to its counterpart, but you will also get to customize your character in multiple different ways, including their appearance, clothing, and abilities. And Fable will also feature a morality system that allow you to make choices that will affect the world around them. Fable has been one of those games that were like its entire livelihood revolves around these, so this is something to definitely be expected when the game actually come out as a complete reboot. I have faith in this game because it is being developed by a talented team of developers and is being built on a powerful engine. The game is expected to be a major success and is sure to be enjoyed by fans of the original series and new players alike. Last game I have on this list is Dynasty Warriors Origins. Now come on, anybody who's been following the channel for this long, of course it was going to be on the list. It is absolutely shaking things up for the next year to bring this series to a fresh reboot, just like Fable. Instead of a master roster like the older games, it focuses on one hero with 9 weapons, 9 main playable officers, and they're theoretically not main playable. They're more like sub playable. They're as companions essentially. But this might upset some fans, but let the developers focus on the visuals. Let them do the story and the combat. That right there, and they can really start adding more characters later. Now, of course, while you can't directly play as the playable officers, they're regularly just support heroes in the sense. They can be played as, but not fully. But also, with them going back on the heavy roster, they were able to focus on the combat, having a mix of action and strategy. We can command troops, we can use grand tactics, which is theoretically like a nice ult that can turn this tide of battle around, and we can also influence morale to make ourselves stronger, make the enemy team weaker. Strategic decisions also impact the battle, and duels with enemy offers heavily influence the outcome. Story mode also is going to cover the Yellow Turban Rebellion to the Battle of Chibi, allowing you to choose your kingdom and as always impact the narrative. I still have hope that this game will have some form of DLC to further flesh out all of the stuff that they're theoretically were missing, or hopefully this is a nice good start to get us a new Dynasty Warriors game in the future to further out and flesh out all of the stuff so they want to do a complete reboot of the entire series. This game seems like quite a fresh start for the series, with a focus on the strategic depth and a more intimate story. The demo has shown a lot of promise, and it's exciting to see what the full game will actually offer. In a sense, the new Dynasty Warriors Origins is ditching the master roster for a more focused experience with that one hero, with a smaller cast of playable officers. This allows for the, like I said earlier, just deeper combat, blend of action and strategy, as well as a more impactful story where your choices do matter to shape the way the Three Kingdoms will go. But to wrap things up for this year, 2025 is shaping to be an exciting year for RPG fans, with a diverse lineup of titles catering to various tastes, from the nostalgic charm of Tales of Grace's F Remastered and the zany pirate adventures of Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, to the epic open-world hunting of Monster Hunter Wilds, and the innovative turn-based combat of Clair Obscur Expedition 33. There is something for everyone. We will also see the return of beloved franchises like Suikoden and Fable, also alongside intriguing new IPs like AI Limit, and having great additions to familiar series like Aetelier Yumia. With such a promising slate of games on the horizon, 2025 is going to be a memorable year for RPGs. If you enjoyed today's episode, then I recommend checking out my top 10 RPGs of 2024. And if you need any new games to play this year, and I want to thank everyone for an awesome year, as this would be the last video before the end of 2024, and I want to have us as a community kick ass going into the new year. But as always, make sure to stay safe out there, and it's been your host, Chaos DCV, here at Chaotic Inc. signing out. Peace.